Now going to question number 13, we always start with the prompt first, which choice most logically completes the text. And when you're asked which choice completes the text, technically you're being asked to predict what's going to come next. But if you simply summarize the text, one answer will usually match that summary. So let's try that here. So if some artifacts recovered from the excavations of this settlement date back from the 13th century, that may lend credence to claims that the settlement was founded before or around that time. There's other evidence, however, supporting a 14th century founding date. If both the artifact dates and the 14th century founding date are correct, that would imply that. So we've got some artifacts that say that this settlement was from the 13th century, but there's also some evidence that the settlement came from the 14th century. So how can it come from the 14th century but have artifacts from the 13th century? So let's use our imaginations a little bit. There must be some other reason why they have artifacts from another century. And the most obvious answer, in my own words, would be that maybe the people in this society collected artifacts from the earlier age, and therefore those artifacts were found even though it didn't match the founding date of that settlement. So let's look at the answers. A says artifacts from the 14th century are more commonly recovered than are artifacts from the 13th century. That wouldn't really explain the sort of conflicting information we're getting. B, the artifacts originated elsewhere and then reached this place through trade or migration. Well, that kind of matches the idea that they were collecting artifacts from other places. C, the settlement was founded by people from a different region than had previously been assumed. Here, it's not about the timing, which is what we're looking for. We're hearing that it was a different region, so that's a little off. And D, the excavations may have inadvertently damaged some artifacts. Well, damage is not going to explain why the artifacts appear to be from a different time period. So the answer that worked for us here is B.